The Book of Genesis Part 87. The Book of Genesis Part 87. James Gunn. Chapter 43:15-34. It appears that Joseph's brethren were subjected to further tests. The first in this portion was the test of hospitality. Roberts, in his work, Oriental Illustrations, says, a more natural picture of the conduct of men from the country, when taken into the home of a superior, cannot be drawn. When they are told to go inside, they at once suspect that they are about to be punished or confined. There is much more than this in the divine record here. Surely the fear experienced by these men was the penalty of deception and hidden cruelty. The presence of authority produced a dread of reprisal for misdeeds committed in the past. Reassurance. While there is no doubt that Joseph was probing very deeply into their consciences, he did so with a gracious kindness. He, Joseph's steward, brought Simeon out unto them, v. 23. There was no better way of reassuring these men, for he would report on the treatment he had received during the period of his detention. The steward's words were a confirmation of goodwill toward these fearful individuals. It is true that he dissociated himself from the God of the Hebrews, nevertheless, he acknowledged God, and said, Your God, and the God of your father, hath given you treasure in your sacks. I had your money. It is not to be supposed that he understood the purpose of Joseph in his dealings with his brethren, but he realized that God had moved the heart of his master to act in benevolence toward these apparent strangers from Canaan. The goodness and severity of God were seen through the acts of Joseph and provided us with an illustration of God's treatment of their descendants, of whom we read, God led thee these 40 years in the wilderness, to humble thee, and to prove thee, to know what was in thine heart, whether thou wouldest keep his commandments or no. Deuteronomy 8 verse 2. Inquiry. The filial feelings between Joseph and his brethren were not the strongest at any time. While they had the same father, they did not have the same mother, and this may be the explanation. The family ties among Jacob, Joseph, and Benjamin, nevertheless, were the very best. There is a pathos in Joseph's words, Is your father well, the old man of whom ye spake? Is he yet alive? It was with difficulty that he veiled his emotions as they made reply, Thy servant our father is in good health, he is yet alive. What good news this was for Joseph! When he saw his mother's son, Benjamin, he could no longer control himself, and hurried away to weep in seclusion. His tears would be a strange mixture of sorrow and joy, sorrow because of the years that now lay behind, and joy at the sight of Benjamin and at the information that his father was yet alive, for these raised the hope in his heart that soon he might join those loved ones from whom he had been violently separated.